Hello everyone, my name is Pukar Dhital. I'm an English instructor and today we're covering Grade 5 English. We'll be covering the chapter Describing Time and its Grammar Portion. So let's begin the class. So we'll start from the word power here. We'll be covering the writing and the grammar portion that's been given in the chapter. So let's begin this particular exercise. Word 6, word power. So it further says, complete the word pairs. Now, fairly an easy exercise. Like for instance, father is equal to mother. So just pairing it. See, complete the word pairs. So we are just pairing it. So for father, who is, let's say, male, all right, or a man. Mother, a lady, or a woman, okay, or a female. Similarly, what if it's granny? What do you think you'd go for granny? Grandpa. Or you can also go for grandpapa. Grandpapa. See? Now let's look at the next word, which is uncle. For uncle, and go to aunt. Similarly for nephew, niece, sir, miss. And the rest, I'm going to give it to you. It's your classwork or homework. All right. Then we have ladies. Hey, have you ever heard the phrase "ladies and gentlemen"? Yes. So for ladies, we go for gentlemen. Gentlemen. Similarly, now you can do the rest here. Brother-in-law. Then we have son-law. Tiger, dog, horse, lion, and a bull. So you got to pair these words given here, and this you can certainly do it in the classroom, or you can go home and do some research on it, get the answers. All right. So let's move further. Now, this particular grammar portion, we are here dealing with. If I'm to write past tense, there are 4 types of past tense. See, one, call it simple past. Next, past continuous, then past perfect. We then have past perfect, and if you have to remember its auxiliary, see, simple past, it uses did. Okay, its auxiliary verb is did, or it usually goes through V2. Rather than confusing you with what is V2, just simply understand that whatever falls under simple past, meaning an event that has happened somewhere in the past, an event that has happened, that had happened, or that happened somewhere in the past. Time is unknown, indefinite time. That's why it's also called indefinite past tense. Alright, so having said V2, it might have verb like flew, struck, slept, ate. So these are all the examples of V2. So we use V2 here in simple past. Now, past continuous means an event that happened somewhere in the past and it continued for some time. And is always accompanied by was, were plus ing form of verb. Like for instance, I was sleeping, that's past continuous. The players were playing football on the ground. See, we're playing, P-L-A-Y, and we are ing form of verb, right? So that makes it past continuous. Past perfect, its auxiliary would always be had. So it talks about an event that happened in the past and it's completely completed in the past, right? For instance, let's say the bridge had collapsed. That would be one of the examples of past perfect. The bridge had collapsed. The children had eaten the breakfast. See? And moving further, it's past perfect continuous. See? An event that had started in the past and it is still continuing. I had been working in this institution since 2010. Jack had been eating candies for the past 2 hours. Meaning since past 2 hours he had been eating candies. Our school had been leading the score in the basketball. Our school had been leading the score in the basketball from the very beginning. So see, they're all the examples of past perfect continuous. But here we're now basically focusing only in simple past. All right. So let's move further. Now choose the correct word and copy your exercise. Remember what I've said? I've said we are following simple past here, only simple past, V2. Okay, an event that had happened in the past. Now, let's be precise here. Yesterday, now for the option you have, go and went to the market to buy things. Again, you have options, buy and I bought a loaf of bread, a packet of biscuits, and a kilo sugar. When the options return, home, I knew that I had forgotten to buy some ladoos. My son asked, go to the next page, did you buy / bought ladoos for me? Sorry, I forgot, has forgotten, I said. Finally, had began to cry. He did not stop until I give him 20 rupees to buy one. So it's a small, let's say, story here where we have to choose the correct tense. Simple as that from the options given. So let's begin. So yesterday, because it's talking about yesterday, it's something as simple as, remember we're focusing more in verb 2 here. Yesterday I went. So here I tick went. Yesterday I went to the market to buy things. I, because it's the event of yesterday, which is past, that's why again simple past. We go for, remember we are generally following simple past here. Okay. Yesterday I went to the market to buy things. I bought a loaf of bread, a packet of biscuits, and a kilo of sugar. When I returned home, now you figure it out whether it's no or new. When I returned home, that's your call to pick up the correct tense here, or to pick up the correct verb here. I returned home. When I returned home, remember we're focusing here in simple past, okay? When I returned home, you figure it out that you figure it out, to buy some laddus. My son asked, did you? Okay, so here you can, so see, we use here, now because did itself is simple past, once we use did, which is the correct choice here, which is the correct auxiliary verb here, once you use did here, because simple past is already here, we don't use did you bought laddus for me, alright? The did would justify this verb 1, that's why we can choose to tick did you buy laddus for me, alright? The application is simple. We have already used simple past here in the form of did here, so this would mean that the verb that follows doesn't have to be in verb 2, or buy changes to bought. That would be wrong, right? So did you buy laddus for me? Sorry, again you choose the right one. I said he, again you choose the right one. He did not, you choose the right one. Stop until I gave him 20 rupees to buy one. So see, this is how it can be done. Now let's talk about homophone, and homonym. So what is homophone and homonym? Now I'm going to write a few examples here for homophone. On this side I'm going to write examples of homonym. Now if I write here rock, book for the homophone, if I write here later, beer, stationery, and stationery. Now look at these two. Look at what I've written. Now in both the cases, if I go here like rose. Look at here. In both these examples, one thing in common is that we pronounce both homophone and the homonym, alright? And these are in pairs, don't forget that. Okay, beer, stationery, rock. So there are 3 examples basically. Book, and rose. Now we would realize that we just pronounce these words just the same, like later and letter, beer and beer, stationery. And if you look at the meaning, let's talk about first homophone. If you look at its meaning in the dictionary, you will realize that, hey, the meanings are different. We pronounce the same, and their meaning is different, and their spelling is different. See, we pronounce the same, their meaning is different, and the spelling is different. See, pronounce the same. We pronounce both letter and letter just the same, but their meaning is different. For example, this letter means to come a bit late, and this letter means to write a letter to somebody. So they are pronounced the same, but the meaning is different, and of course their spelling is different. The first one is L-A-T-E-R, L-A-T-T-E-R. Now on the other hand, when we talk of homonym, look at this. They are pronounced, so we will write here, pronounced the same, E-D, right? Pronounced the same, and meaning is different. They're pronounced the same, their meaning is different, and the spelling is same. Spelling is similar or same. Spelling is also same. See, they're pronounced the same, meaning is different, and spelling is same. They are called homonym. Like rock and rock. The one rock is the boulder, alright? The rock that we see in hills, the big rocks. The other rock would be something as simple as, hey, if you have habit of rocking a chair, meaning to sway or to move something, don't rock the chair. Book and book. The first book would mean the reading book, that which you might have on the table right now. The other book means to book a hall. I booked the hall. You should book the ticket. before we go to the movie. The first rose is a flower rose. The second rose is past tense of rise. See, they all have different meanings, but they are pronounced the same, they're spelled the same, they are homonym. And on the other hand, we have homophone. They are pronounced the same, their spelling is different, and their meaning is different. This you have to understand. Right now, however, we're again focusing only on homophone. First of all, this is number 8, spelling. And then fill in the gaps with appropriate word pairs. As we have here, night. They are the options that's given, okay? Later, later. Where, where. By, new, new. Right, right. They're all homophone. They're pronounced the same. The meaning is different and their spelling is different. Okay. Now the first number, the blank, came into the pub at, there you go, to the teacher. That the boy was a, that the boy was a. Again, there's a blank. Now we have number 3, stood. There's a blank, the door, and bed, good. There's a blank. 4, you should, replies on times. Now we have number 5, they always warm clothes, but yesterday they wearing light clothes. And number 6, I did not receive any blank first, but on they came bundles. Now let me do one for you. Like, let's go for number 5. Now we have the option here. Remember, these are the options that's available to you. Okay, these are the options that we have here, like night and later and where, by, new, right. So we have to pick one. So because we're doing number 5, let's figure it out. So number 5 says they always warm clothes, but yesterday they wearing light clothes. And the options that we have are night, night, later, later, where, W-E-A-R, where, W-E-R-E, where, by, new, new, right, right. So if we look at it deeply, it's where. So the answer would be they always wear warm clothes, but yesterday they were wearing light clothes. So this way you can fill in homophone here. Okay, so rest you can do it as a homework, and you can find out. And one more thing you can do is find out 6 homophones and homonyms. Write down its meaning, make your own sentence write down and make your own sentence of words. So this also you can do it as a homework and show it to a teacher. So thank you very much, and if you have any queries, feel free to email us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you very much.